Hey guys, thanks for clicking. We really appreciate that. Today we're going to show you how to fix a wheel on, well, this one's on a leaf blower, but it's a really common wheel. It's used on a lot of different push equipment like mowers or hand trucks or stuff like that. So we'll show you what we have and we'll show you how to fix it. So this is a Billy Goat blower. It's a push blower, meaning it doesn't go by itself. You actually have to push it. And this is the wheel that has some bearings in it, and they do not have a grease fitting on the wheel. The front wheel actually does have a grease fitting. These do not. They just have these little cheap bearings that wear out all the time, and then your wheel gets all wobbly and it falls off. So I'm going to show you. We took this one off, and we're going to show you the parts that you need to fix it. And it's really kind of a cheap and easy fix opposed to buying a new wheel. So if you look up the model number of like this particular Billy Goat blower, it shows you the wheel, the part, and it does not show you the part for the bearing. So there's no part number for the bearings. So I'm going to show you the Sten's bearings that replace these, and let's go from there. And again, to replace the entire wheel is like $120. I even looked cross-referenced on Amazon. I'll put the link down there in case you don't want to do that. You just want to replace the wheel, but you know, to replace two wheels, that's like $200 and something. I think the front one is like $70 or $80. So, you know, replacing the bearings for $2.99 a piece is that's the deal of the day. Let's check it out. Here's the wheel, and like I said, they wobble. This one, the bearings are still kind of hanging on. The other one just totally fell apart. But you pretty much just pop this clip off here. Watch your eyes. You should be wearing safety glasses when you do this, unlike me, who's not complying with that at the moment. But anyway, it's just a little clip. You pop that off, and then you pop your wheel off. And like I said, there's bearings that come out of here. They do not have grease fittings on these wheels. You would think for $100 something they would have a grease fitting, but they don't. So let's pop these out and let's put the new bearings in and show you how it works. The other side, which I already have out, so I'm sorry if I'm not doing this in the right order, but basically what you do is you just take I use the back side or the round side of a punch. You just put it through there and you tap them out. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. It's all messed up. It's really a cheap bearing. This is one from that wheel, but that's what they call a lipped bearing. And that just sits right in there. You tap it in and that's how it works. So here's our new bearings. These are Sten's replacement bearings. You can see the number on there. I will put the link in the description for these, so you could just click on that and you don't have to worry about reading this. But let's see. Here's the new one. So here's your new bearing. You're gonna do your best to clean up the inside of this and just get in here, and you kind of just want to clean up the area where the bearing's going to go back in. We'll put some oil in here, but do on both sides. Just clean up the rust. That's pretty good. Spray some oil, any kind of oil, it doesn't really matter. There you go. And then put a little bearing grease, or like I said, I don't really care what you use. Just something to make it slide in there easily. You don't want to hit this part of the bearing because that's just not the part you hit. So I'm using a socket, and make sure the socket hits the outside lip here. So see how it fits on there? That's a perfect size. This happens to be a 1 1/8 inch for these, but so you're gonna put this bearing in like this, nice and easy. You can start it with a rubber mallet if you want. Kind of get it in there. And you're gonna take this and you're going going to pop that in. You don't have to kill it, just make sure it's seated all the way around. You're done. You're gonna grab another bearing. Same exact thing on this side. Just to get it seated in there, just smash my finger. That's it. Like I said, just make sure it's seated in there. And there you go. You are all set. That is the magic. Now we're going to pop this back on the machine and we'll show you how that works. Put it on here. Doesn't really matter. These are, like I said, they're not maintainable shafts. They do it the cheap way. This is not a cheap blower, but they put these cheap wheels on. I don't know why they do stuff like that, but make sure we get it the right way. Pop that on, and then you're gonna put your clip back in here. And that's it. And look at that. Brand new wheel. And I think those bearings are like $3 a piece, so for $6 you fixed a $120 wheel. The wheel, now these bearings were still intact, but while we're doing it, we're gonna replace all these. So I'll show you how to take them out. You pretty much just lay it down flat, and you're gonna hit the bearing out this way for that bottom bearing. And that's it. It pops right out like that, nice and easy. Same thing. Flip this over, hit it out this way. Look at that. Wheel will repeat the same process. Just clean this spot out, little Scotch Brite. Good to go. You can spray a little spray in there to clean it. We'll put a little bearing grease in there. Any kind of bearing grease, just to get that going in here. Just like we did on the other one. Put your new bearing in there. Use your socket so you don't ruin the new bearing. Just like that. Like I said, don't overhit it, just make sure it's seated right. You're good to go. Same thing here. Pop this in. And they are the same bearing on both sides, just in case you were wondering. Put some bearing grease on the shaft, it can't hurt. That going there. Put your wheel back on like that. Put your clip back in here. And that's it. Boom. Another wheel fixed. And there you have it. That is how you fix those wheels. Like I said, they're pretty universal, most of those. I'll leave the full link in there for all of those parts and for the bearings. And there you go. That's how you do it. Thanks so much for watching.
Bye.
Peace, guys.